Sup, you chuckle fuckers, it's your boy, Dark Raccoon here with the What If Issei was a mysterious vice commander. Part 5. Sorry, stretch. You want to yawn, but no yawn awesome. Other than that, let me begin to the What If. Let me shut the fuck up and let me begin into the What If. So, we begin into mostly the battle between Hanma and Issei. And this is where, well, and also there's like other kind of like somewhat 16 people that are watching behind a bush. And also a couple of other people are watching. But yeah. But that is not the point here. There we go into mostly their battle. Well, mostly both Issei and Hanma's battle. Hanma is right now trying to fight against Issei by trying to punch him. But this is where Issei either blocks it, kicks him right in the face, punches him, knees him in the face. Yeah, he kicks the shit out of Hanma most of the time. But Hanma doesn't go down because of his fucking, well, just crazy endurance. That man's literally a zombie, doesn't go down. This is where Hanma gets up and says, damn. You think you could just take me out like that? Issei-kun, or Ice-kun. This is where, well, mostly Issei just like breathes a bit, just pants a bit. And this is where, well, some of the other guys from mostly the group of Hanma, mostly Valhalla, tried to attack Issei. Until Issei just kicked the shit, like side kicked someone in the side of the head, knocking them into like other people. And this is where Issei turned around, seeing Hanma about to punch him. This is where Issei dodges and grabs, what's it called, Hanma's arm, twists it down to the ground, and knocks him right in the face by mostly punching him right in the face by kind of pulling him down, punching him in the face. This is where Hanma gets pushed back and says, ugh, what the? He then looks up to see mostly Issei kind of just glaring at him. And this is where, well, mostly, well, Hanma then tries to kind of, well, punch at Issei, but this is where Issei blocks the punch, punches him right in the face. This is where, well, Hanma is right now getting pushed back and saying, this is where both of them are breathing hard. And this is where a lot of members of Valhalla are just shocked to see Hanma right now still kicking, of course, but mostly they are shocked to see Issei dodging more often than normal. Issei is quite flexible and fast to dodge. He's not going to take a punch directly. He can take a punch, but he's not going to do it like an idiot. He knows that wastes too much energy. Too much energy to, well, not really wanting to get punched in the face, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Hanma gets up and says, tell me, Issei, tell me, what makes a great king, huh? Why do you follow Taiju or Shiba Taiju? You can become a great king yourself. Why do you follow him? This is where, well, mostly Issei says 2 reasons. This is where Queen Peace falls down to the ground, or mostly towards him, and he grabs it. This Queen Peace is like purplish color somewhat. Here's where, well, Issei says, there's 2 reasons why I don't become a king myself. It's quite easy. First reason is I truly don't feel like becoming king for any reason. I become the queen, or you can say the vice commander of an organization just because the fact that mostly, well, I might have the skills of a king, but I don't truly follow, well, truly not follow, how should I say, I don't truly follow the quality of a king. Mostly, how I see people to be a king is quite easy. I might be the vice captain, the queen piece, or whatever bullshit on a chess piece or whatever. But the reason I enjoy being the mostly vice captain instead of the king is because of most of the freedom that I get. The freedom to do whatever I want to. That is what I mean. If I became the king, I would have been more, well, more annoyed with a bunch of work and other shit that I don't want to deal with. That's why becoming the queen is one of the most important pieces in a chess piece. That's why I enjoy being that piece a lot, because I have freedom. Of course, I do have to listen to orders from my king, but I do not complain too much. My king shall give mostly orders of, well, mostly orders to take out strong, independent people. I do enjoy fighting strong people, but sometimes I don't mind of killing someone and killing them or murdering them or whatever. If my king has suggested that, then I will do it. my leader, my king, and other things. That's why I always am the vice commander of the Black Dragons. Even if Taiju disappears or just goes or whatever, I will still be with the vice, well, mostly the Black Dragons, or I'll find someone stronger. This is how I see, well, 3 reasons is how I see king and how to rule people. This is where, well, there's 3 mostly different types, and this is where, well, one who never doubts, never yields, never relents, and always stand as the leader of his people. That is what makes a king. This is where, well, mostly Issei said. Mostly kind of pointing his fingers out towards Hanma. Hanma over here looking shocked. So yeah, just think of it like that. They also have to be physically powerful, strong, and of course, showing that he is not scared of anyone. That is why I follow Taiju. That is why I shall always be his vice captain, his vice commander, his not queen. I'm not gay, but I'm just saying. Mostly someone who will always kind of follow him. I am loyal as hell like that. Other than that, I will never follow anyone else, no matter what. Not a person like you, not a person like Kisuke Teru, whatever his goddamn name is, the person you follow. I will never follow people like that. And that's why I am much more stronger than you think. Do you remember my nickname? Mostly 2 years ago, Hanma. Hanma says, your nickname? Yes. The Dragon of Abyss. Or mostly the Sleeping Dragon. There's 2 different names that they call you. Exactly. The sleeping Dragon is when I don't actually fight, and sometimes I'm lazy to fight anyone. But the reason why people call me the Abyss, well, mostly the Dragon of Abyss, is easy. I who shall awaken to be the dragon, well, mostly, no, wait, let me say that again. I who shall awaken am the dragon who fought against the principle of dreams and the principle of infinity. I shall take those principles and drown them into nothing but the emptiness of the void. I shall destroy and murder. Well, I shouldn't destroy murder. I should, well, destroy and suck and this. Well, not suck. Let me say that again. I should destroy and drown, well, everything in nothing but the pure color of the abyss. I am the dragon of the abyss, and shall send you to the nothing but truly the pitch black of the void. This is where, well, mostly Hanma says, what are you talking about? This is where, well, Issei kind of pulls out a necklace that he has, and it's just like some kind of dragon necklace that he usually has near his neck. And this is where it was kind of like a purplish color and black. And this is where Issei then just like disappears from Hanma. And this is where, well, he kind of uses in, well, mostly impulse that he has. But it's not dark impulse that he has. It's something else, much more stronger. It's actually quite literally stronger version than Dark Impulse. But this is where Issei appears punching the shit of Hanma. Right now launching this shit straight to a tree. And right now smashing him into that tree, knocking them out. This is where, well, all of Valhalla was just shocked. This is where, well, Issei right now stands tall and looks at them and says, who else wants to fight me? Who else wants to die? This is where, well, all of Valhalla right now runs like hell. They are all bitches. They're like, hey, nope, we good. Bye. See you. Fuck that shit. This is where, well, so many people are running like hell. Issei looks at this and just chuckles. He wasn't thinking that a bunch of people would run away like a pussy. That's where, well, we'll see Issei just chuckles and doesn't care too much. This is where, well, we'll see Issei then kind of like grabs, well, the, let me say that again. So yeah, this is where, well, a bunch of members right now just ran. And this is where, well, we'll see Issei then looks back at Hanma. And right now he's having his like queen piece right now with his hand, like in his like entwined in his hands. And this is where, well, he goes up to Hanma and right now just like looks at mostly a knocked out Hanma. Because yes, Hanma has his eyes kind of white and of course knocked out. He's unconscious. This is where, well, Issei then looks, well, crouches down and kind of just like puts his fingers at Hanma's neck to see if he's killed or not. No, the man's, mostly Hanma's still breathing, he's just unconscious. Issei thinks maybe I shouldn't punch him that hard. Who cares? This is where Hanma's face is also kind of bloody and other shit, but yeah. He also has his unconscious grin and he's like, ah. But yeah. Or not grin, he just has his mouth kind of up. Well, mostly lower. He's kind of just shocked with that punch and he's just knocked out. But yeah. But not the point. This is where, well, mostly Issei gets up. Right now, writes on a piece of paper, a letter that says, fuck off. This is where, well, other than that, Issei starts walking away. This is where, well, his aura did kind of make everyone tremble in fear. The fact that Issei was saying a speech that sounded a lot similar to that of like an awake or a juggernaut kind of juggernaut chant, just like what's it called, the two heavenly dragons. But Issei doesn't have any of the heavenly dragons. No, he doesn't have Diedrich. He doesn't have Albion. He has, well, he doesn't even have the Dragon King, what's it called, Dragon King Viltra, because that's Sanji. And the other two dragons, as you mentioned, where they would be at, but not the point. But Issei has something even worse, much more greater and stronger than that of Infinity or the Dreams. But not the point. This is where, well, Issei starts walking away. He did kind of let go of his like aura a bit, just to show that he is much more stronger than anyone. But this is where, well, he only let it out for a bit, to making Hanma only feel it. Hanma was scared for a bit and just trembled at the power. But this is where, well, Issei starts walking away and kind of like going towards somewhere. But yeah, this is where, well, we go back into the POV of Kumagawa. Kumagawa just like scratch out and says, well, look at that. That happened. This is where, well, almost all 12 girls that were with Kumagawa from the different middle schools, like old middle schools, that Issei might have got suspended in. Also, there's Reyes and Sona, who were shocked and mostly Issei's fighting skills and power and paralysis. Also, the fact that he had not an evil piece. They couldn't really tell if that was an evil piece or just a normal piece. Because mostly Issei just holding and throwing it up in the air, kicking people, knocking them out. Mostly Issei seems to be quite skilled in fighting, well, hand-to-hand combat, and fighting multiple people at once. He didn't even have any fear, any doubt, any despair in his eyes. All that he had in his eyes were determination, the look of mostly, yeah, determination, a bit of hope for himself. Well, hope that these weaklings didn't die too easily. And, well, the other look was mostly kind of annoyment, but not much. But we go into mostly a time skip from that. Well, not time skip, mostly Kumagawa kind of saying, so how did everyone enjoy that watch? All of the girls turn around to see Kumagawa, still friendly, still kind of smiling, and kind of evilish smiling also. Madaka right now grabs Kumagawa from the collar and says, tell me, Kumagawa, what the hell was that, and what did we watch just now? Kumagawa says, what do you mean? What else did you just watch? You watched mostly the sleeping dragon, or the intelligent black dragon, or, well, not intelligent dragon, mostly the sleeping dragon, or the most smartest dragon you will ever see in the black dragons, the genius of one of a kind, a vice commander of the black dragons, truly a very powerful person, Issei Hiro, or not Issei Hiro, Issei, let's see, Issei Kurakawa Hiro. So, do you miss him, Adaka? How has it been? It's been so long. It's been 2 years and 2 weeks from the last time you saw him. This is where, well, mostly Madaka narrow her eyes coldly. This is where, well, mostly Madaka says, shut up. This is where, well, Kumagawa and grins and says, oh, sorry about that. But I'm not gonna shut up. Other than that, how is it that do you miss him more than ever? Do you care about him? This is where Madaka wants to punch the shit out of mostly Kuragawa. And Kuragawa says, wait, don't punch me, I'm just kidding. Chill, Madaka, chill. This is where, well, Madaka says, shut up and tell us, what exactly did we just witness? Oh, well, it's just Issei coming back to becoming the original vice commander of the Black Dragons. Now that he's going to appear once again, well, who's going to be able to stop him? Which delinquent group will be able to stop him? No one. None of them will be able to stop him. He is back, stronger than ever, smarter than ever, faster than ever, and much more flexible than ever. Did you just see how he kicked the shit out of a lot of members? I mean, when he was at the age 15, he was doing some things like that. But the fact, the movements that he just did, okay, well that woke the shit out of me. I was just fucking confused who the fuck is calling me. But pretty much mostly, what's it called? While Kuragawa was saying all that, this is where, well, Madaka nodded. She remembered how mostly Issei, when he was 15, he was quite violent, and of course, well, not quite violent, he was literally violent as hell. Sometimes, he was also quite sleepy and tireless and did not really care about school or any of that. This is where, well, Madaka said, I see. So, you're saying he's 17 and he's more wiser than ever? Kuragawa says, about that, I actually don't know. Madaka says, didn't you just... you... Yeah. Okay. Kuragawa, what do you mean you don't know? Are you not the freaking student council of that high school? Okay, no, I am not. That is none other than this person. He points at Sona, and this is where, well, Madaka says, what about the red hair? I don't freaking know. Probably her friend. Not the point. This person right here, Sona Shitora, is actually the student council of Kuo. I see. Well, this is where Madaka then looks at Sona and says, tell me, how good is his grades in your school? Sona right now tries to remember Issei's grades. They're not really good. They're really bad. That's where she says, they're really bad. Also, how did he act in middle school? Can I question that? This is where all the girls kind of say, violent, quiet, sleepy, tireless. This is where, well, see, they all explain a different person to what is happening right now with Issei in high school. This is where, well, she then explains the high school version, and the girls are confused. Issei was never quite the perverted one. Actually, no. He was literally the opposite of perverted. He was literally the, well, anti-definition of perverted. He hated perverts entirely. This is where, well, all the girls now turn around to see Kuragawa. Kuragawa says, hey, I don't have all these answers. I just know that they're both the same person because I did take a DNA test with that. Madaka says, how do you do that? So, I might have fought him and he might have kicked my ass, but hey, we don't need to talk about that. This is where the girl squat drops and says, really? Really? This Kuragawa says, I'm sorry. Did I have any other way for him to not be suspicious of me? No, I did not have any other way. I could have think of any other way, but I saw him and I didn't want to lose the opportunity to not fight him. And so I got my ass kicked. Okay, shut up, leave me alone. This where, well, Madaka sighs and says, I see. Stupid fucking question to even ask. And so where, well, we'll see. Madaka says, okay, if he truly does DNA test, blah, 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 why is he acting like pervert right now? How should I know? It's not like I have all the answers. I'm not Issei. You do realize that, Madaka. I am not Issei, so I cannot tell you all those answers, can I? So Madaka just scoffs and says, I see. This is where Ren is also quite annoyed, and of course other couple of girls, but yeah. This is where, well, right now we go into mostly two people walking by and kind of seeing this and say, Sona Reyes? This is where Sona Reyes turns around just to see mostly Moriyama and Catherine. This is where, well, mostly Sona says, didn't, wait. This is where, well, mostly Sona then thinks about an idea. Wait, Mariyama, weren't you the one to kind of go on a date about like a couple of weeks ago with Issei? This is where, well, the girls from the different middle schools kind of caught their attention with that, even Kuragawa. And this is where, well, mostly they all look at mostly Moriyama, which Moriyama feels so nervous around mostly people staring at her. This is where, well, mostly Moriyama's like, yeah, but well, entirely we're not girlfriend and boyfriend. We broke up in the same date. That's just because this is where, well, mostly this is where, well, she tries to explain, but this is where Catherine says, you don't need to explain anything. You, well, he broke up with you, and that bastard should know that he knew that he wasn't that good for you. This is where Catherine said. Mariyama tries to explain, but this is where another person appears. A guy with pinkish hair and says, well, not, yeah, kind of a pinkish hair color, and says, hey, Catherine-san. Well, mostly sis. He calls, was it called Catherine sis because they're actually siblings? It's the same person that kind of got his ass kicked by Issei about 2 weeks ago. So, of course, where he gonna says, hey, sis, what is happening here? This is where, well, Catherine says, these people want to know about mostly Moriyama's Chan and what's it called, that perverted loser's kind of date and how it went. But since you managed to beat him and have a few scratches, but not the point, beat him in that battle, but that managing to kind of beat him up and other things, we can all just know that that pervert is weak. This is where the older brother of Moriyama kind of switch up and say, he lied about that, and this is where Kuragawa says, you lied about that, didn't you? You didn't actually win against Issei, did you? This is where, well, the pink hair guy said, well, this is where Catherine says, hey, don't try to, what's it called, well, make my brother, be a liar. He's telling the truth. This is where, well, Murasaki, not Murasaki, what the hell they call him? Actually. So his name is Raphael, and this is where, well, mostly he says, no, I did manage to beat against, or mostly fight against that weakling pervert, and I managed to beat him. Kuragawa says, yeah, I feel like that's a complete fucking lie. This is where, well, mostly Raphael says, okay, fine, that is a lie. I got my ass kicked by him. That was terrible. And this is where, well, when Catherine says, wait, what? Moriyama was also shocked. This is where, well, Raphael says, look here, sis, I am not going against him ever again. 2 reasons. There's 2 fucking reasons I am never going to fight against that somewhat pervert that you say. 2 reasons are, 1, I am not trying to mess with the vice commander of fucking Black Dragon again. That, and I'm not also trying to fight against Taiju. Holy shit, when they managed not to hurt me that bad. I'm so happy that Issei, what's it called? He says last name Issei is not Yoro. He says, I'm so happy that he didn't just fucking rip my neck apart or fucking just stomp it. I'm so happy he didn't even stomp my head in. Holy shit. He did give me a brutal ass beating, but luckily it didn't take 2 weeks. It only took 1 day into heal and other things. But God, I'm not fighting him again. He's nothing but a monster. Why the fuck would I be fighting a monster? That's stupid and crazy of me to do. This is where, well, mostly Moriyama, Catherine, and all the other girls are shocked. And this is where, well, mostly Kuragawa says, see, he's the same person. I said he was the same person. I was correct. Madaka says, what do you mean you were correct? You didn't test this out? Oh, I did, but I didn't. Don't worry about it. This is where, well, Madaka says, you just guessed, didn't you? No, I didn't. I really didn't. Calm down. But yeah, we go into mostly Kuragawa right now seeing a very pissed off Madaka, and this is where, well, mostly Kuragawa is like, I'm so happy that what's it called? Mostly Raphael is kind of saying, so yeah, I'm not gonna fight him ever again. What they call Catherine said, because if I fight him, he's going to kill me this time. So yeah, now that we have an understanding, you're not mad at me, are you, for lying? Sona, well, not Sona, right now Catherine squats up and says, wait, you're 20 years old and you got your ass kicked by a 17-year-old. Raphael was like, we don't need to talk about that, sis. This is where Catherine says, no, we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it with my parents. Well, with our parents. Because didn't I just... Oh, God. If Dad hears about this, he's going to go... throw a tantrum about mostly his 20-year-old kid just got his ass kicked. Raphael kind of says, well, we don't need to tell anything about that. Do we, Catherine? Yeah, no, we don't. This is where one of the girls from, what's it called, the group kind of asked, well, Mosi, Kurogawa to see his phone and see the edit again. This is where, well, Mosi Kurogawa says, sure. This is where, well, Mosi, they put up that video, and this is where, well, Mosi, the girl says, why don't you upload to YouTube? Two reasons is, one is going to get demonetized in an instant, and strike down by none other than the very pissed off Issei. When he finds out about it, he's also going to find, well, mostly me, and also, what's it called, Crypto, is probably going to murder us. So that's why we don't upload it to YouTube. I see. This is where the video starts playing. This is where, well, Moriyama and Catherine are kind of interested, even Raphael, and it just shows a teenager, middle school Issei, right now with his hair kind of being black and white, his dreads, and this is where his eyes being different color, and this is where making Moriyama and Catherine blush at the sight of seeing Issei's kind of, well, mostly just ripped body in that kind of edit, because one of the pictures were shown. This is where, well, Moriyama and Catherine tries to not blush, but yeah, this is Moriyama questions who exactly that is. This is where, well, mostly Madaka says that is middle school Issei. They look at mostly Madaka shock. This is middle school Issei. Even though the high school one, he looks kind of just adorable somewhat if he wasn't too much of a pervert, and he probably would have been quite popular, but they are just shocked to see middle school Issei. This is where, well, they also, there's also another edit, but this time it's just mostly about the fight. And this is where, well, it shows Issei in middle school right now, punching someone in the face, kicking the shit out of them, right now, kneeing them in the face, and then just, yeah, you get the point. He is right now doing flips, punching, kicking, and absolute, just whooping ass most of the time. In one of the edits, and most of those, there's like 3 edits of that. The first, well, mostly that one edit that was shown was pretty much just to see how the girls reacted with Issei's new look from mostly, well, not new look, from his like middle school look, and probably that one picture where he's kind of showing his body. But this is where, well, mostly that's just to kind of troll the girls. But yeah, the other 3 edits are just basically him fighting, kicking the shit out of people, putting music in the background. The song in the background is this. So the edits are mostly with the song of either Murder in My Mind, Trouble, or whatever, and you get the point. But yeah, this is where, well, I have the girls are watching this, and this is where, well, it does show what's it called, somewhat easily, somewhat shirtless in half of the battles, and some of the edits, because, well, he does kind of have it shirtless, but yeah. This is where, well, half the girls kind of barely went through 20 seconds of the goddamn video before passing out. They cannot reach the edit of only 30 seconds. Yeah, mostly because of how Issei's rip, kind of just kicking ass, or yeah, you get the point. This is where, well, we'll see, Catherine and Moriyama cannot go neither because they pass out at the, timer of 28 seconds. This is where, well, most of the guys were fine because, first of all, they're not gonna pass out, but yeah. But of course, Raphael was kind of scared shitless because if this is really Issei, well, middle school self lookalike, and if he still looked like that in high school days, he would have been fucked because he probably wouldn't survive. But we go into mostly Kurogawa saying, well, if that is all for today, I should probably be going, shouldn't I? This is where, well, mostly there was other people kind of showing up. Mostly 2 girls with 2 different hair colors, one being kind of reddish and one being whitish, like what they call, or not reddish. Mostly one being kind of reddish like Rias and the other one kind of being like literally snowy white. Kind of appear just to see the edits, and they were kind of blushing. They weren't trying to fully blush, but yeah, those edits were hard for them not to blush, but yeah. But this is where, well, mostly Kurogawa says, oh, then I should probably be taking my phone. Who took my phone? This is where Issei was the one to take the phone back. And this is where, well, mostly Issei says, thanks for your phone, Kurogawa. Kuragawa said, Issei. This is where all the girls snapped up because, well, they all passed out, but this is where they all woke up in an instant to see Issei right now glaring at Kuragawa. Kuragawa said, hey, Issei, what are you doing with my phone? What else do you think I'm gonna do with it? Fucking destroy it. But why? First of all, I was hearing kind of music at the same time edits, and I noticed far away from a while ago is, how the hell did you manage to get video footage of me, well, doing whatever? Kuragawa says, I don't know what you're talking about. Why did I give her back my foot? This is where the phone right now destroys Issei's hand, and this is where he just throws that out of the way and says, fuck off, I'm not doing that. This is where Issei walks away, but yeah. Every girl is shocked to see Issei right now pissed off, just like in some of the videos edits. And this is where, well, we'll see a lot of girls kind of blush, but yeah. Issei didn't care, walk away. Now, I should mention one thing before we go into that. We go into before. We'll see what happened with Issei walking away from mostly, walking away from mostly Hanma. He finds himself kind of entrapped by like 4 different people. What's it called? Donisik, Rainer, Kalawerner, even Mito. They're all wanting to attack him now because he is quite deadly, but this is where Issei uses a quite powerful force to smash them all down, to scare them the hell out of his way. He truly had a Dragon Sacred gear, but it wasn't like the Red Dragon or White Dragon. It felt more malicious, more dark than ever. It felt like they were literally about to fight the true meaning of the abyss. They did not understand one bit in why it felt like that. All they understand was Issei was dangerous, more dangerous than they expected. Cannot be eliminated by just like 4 fallen angels who barely even have two pairs of wings. They cannot fight against them, but yeah. But we go into mostly, from that back towards Issei crushing the phone and walking away. We go into a time skip of a day later, and it's now what to call the day of school. But yeah, it's another school day, but this day is special for Issei. Very, very special. He grins and an instant.
Okay, so, sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, as I remember where I left it off, sorry, I fell asleep. I paused it, then I fell asleep, and then I had to go do some stuff. But yeah, not the point. Let me get into this. What if, let me shut the fuck up, sorry. But yeah, hope it doesn't cut out the audio or anything. I'm lucky that it didn't actually just turn off by itself. But yeah, so let me just begin back into where I was at. So we go into mostly Issei go to school, but before going to school, the kind of queen piece that he had, he just threw it back at the table that he kind of found it at, but not the point. But we begin into mostly Issei kind of going the next day. This is where he called mostly a, he kind of, not called, he mostly kind of went to school normally. Somewhat. He did call someone before going to school, but this is where, when he went to kind of call them, he kind of noticed the day, he was happy, he was grateful, and he was actually going to be excited to look at the person's face when he actually kind of sees him once again. But we go into mostly Issei going to school, a normal day. Mostly everyone's still glaring at him, even Monohama Masuda, which he doesn't give a damn. Actually, he can actually hurt all these people out of care in the world, but he's not going to do that until he sees that person and has a little friendly chat with him. But this is where, mostly he waits for mostly the whole day, or not whole day, like half the day. This is where, mostly midway to, midway to the school, like somewhere in the middle of the day. This is where, Issei was called up to the office. This is where, the not security guard. It was a security guard that actually came to the classroom to go pick up Issei. Everyone was confused in why a security guard was actually picking up Issei when they don't actually really have security guards that much. This is where, he picked up Issei saying that Issei's in trouble and he might go to jail. Now, Issei knows that he's not in trouble. He's just happy to return back to his delinquent life. This is where, he kind of gets up, just looking like he doesn't give a damn, which he's not. The security guard doesn't scare him at all. This is where everyone's confused and a bunch of rumors start exploding and everything. But we go into Issei kind of being brought to the, what's it called, council room. This is where, well, mostly the student council. Now, Sona was so confused when these like 3 female cops somewhat actually appear. One of them was actually questioning who were mostly calling for Issei Hyoto, which Sona had to go pick him up or mostly go get him. So of course, mostly one of the girls kind of said that her kind of like friend here, mostly he's a security cop and he can actually go pick him up, which yeah. So of course, mostly that happens. And when Issei was brought up to the office, he was hoping for that guy's face and his reaction to be fucking frightened, shocked, and disbelief. What he found out was the opposite. Straight up the opposite. What he found out is there's 3 female cops and not the person that he was looking for. That's where Issei says, "Hey, you, security cop, guard or whatever." That's where, well, most of the person says, "I have a name, you know that?" Yeah. I'm not gonna read that badge, but where's Jin at? Jin? Jin, oh shit. You don't know the news, do you, kid? No, I don't. Well, this is where, well, one of the persons actually cut him off, and it was actually a dark skin kind of cop. Mostly she looked like this. A dark skin cop, kind of with, yeah, dark skin, bluish eyes, and like whitish hair. The other had kind of like bluish hair with bluish eyes and kind of palish white skin, and the other one had kind of whitish hair with bluish eyes with mostly palish skin also. But mostly this one was the one that appeared. Her name is Satrina. This where, well, Satrina, well, her last name is Satrina Yamako, and of course, where, well, she then says, "So, you're Issei, aren't you? Why do you call my father's phone number?" This is where Issei says, "Wait, who are you?" "The name's Satrina Yamako." "Not the point. Why did you call my father's phone number?" This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of says, "Well, I call your father's phone number. I'm guessing that you're basically the daughter of Jin Yamako, but that's not the point. Am I guessing that right?" Yeah, this is where she nodded. This is where Issei said, "I made a deal with him about 2 years ago about if I don't get suspended, in trouble, or expelled from this school, or mostly high school, for 2 years, me and him made a little bet. And that bet is that I can drop out earlier in school. I can also cause as much chaos as I want to without the cops interfering. And, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want to." This is where, well, Satrina, her eyes had mostly the language that Issei uses. And this is where she has never heard of something like this. This is where the male cop says, can you not like cuss in front of us or what?" Issei says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck." This is where Issei was about to say "fuck the police" until one of the female cops managed to cover his mouth, just because he can seem to be quite, well, mostly just his language is quite fucked up and other things. But yeah, but this is where, well, mostly Issei just glares at the blue hair, but he doesn't care. This is where, well, Satrina says, "I don't know any deal that you or my father made. You see here, my father died about, well, 8 months ago." This is where Issei widened his eyes. He never heard of anything like this. This is where, well, Issei's aura started kind of exploding from his body somewhat. This is where, well, dark malicious aura is exploding away from his body. He's slowly trying to contain it, but that ain't happening. The ground underneath him almost shattered. The mostly chair that he was sitting almost shattered. The kind of, well, table that he had his hand on almost shattered also. This is where, well, dark malicious purplish aura started kind of flowing around him. This is where Sona widened her eyes to feel this aura, and she was terrified. This aura is surpassing that of a super devil and an insane. But yet it's contained somewhat, but it's still very pissing off Issei. Issei's eyes, even though with their goldenish brown tint color, was turning a very dark and malicious purple color. But this is where, well, mostly Satrina kind of know her eyes. She is half, well, I should mention one thing. Satrina is half elf. She's a half dark elf. So, of course, feeling this aura is actually quite terrifying. But she is right now putting up a brave face that she does not know anything about the supernatural.
This is where the other two actually knows about the supernatural, but they're not really going to say anything. The male cop doesn't know anything about this. He was just thinking that this kid is being flashy as shit. He must be so pissed that fucking life is right now bending around his reality. That's what the cop is saying, the male cop. The other kind of devils are just scared. Right now, Sanji is right now feeling this like draconic feeling around with Issei, and this draconic feeling is making Viltra right now shit himself in an instant, realizing who exactly that Issei has, or he might have an idea, but he is thinking that that's impossible. But this is where, mostly Issei is right now kind of saying, mostly he takes the hand off, mostly the hand from that girl who was putting her hand on his face. He took it off and says, "What do you fucking mean?" This is where, mostly Issei's eyes are narrow cold at her. Citrina right now says, "Like I said, my father died 8 months ago. How was that possible?" Issei said. This is where Citrina says, "He died fighting against a delinquent named Self, Toronto Self." This is where, Issei narrowed his eyes coldly, murderously. This is where, but this is where, he didn't realize, even if the deal is, if even he broke the deal, it wouldn't matter. But this is where, he had another idea. This is where, he is not the only one that was there to make the deal. Mostly, what's it called? Jin was not the only one there to make the deal. The other person that has the papers and has his sign is a judge. This is where, he then kind of pulls up his phone and started kind of like calling someone. This is where, mostly 15 minutes later, someone appeared and not 15 minutes later, mostly the call, managed to connect, and this is where the person was like an old man saying, hello? This is where, mostly Issei says, Edward. His name was Edward. This is where, Edward, Shin. This is where, mostly Edward says, hello? Who is this? Issei says, you might remember me as the, delinquent that got expelled from like 15 different schools. This is where, mostly, Sona just confirmed that, okay, so he was the one. She heard about this like yesterday, and now Issei is really confirming that shit. This is where, the other 3 cops are just shocked. The what's it called, male cop was like, God damn, you got expelled from 15 different middle schools? What the hell is your record history right there? This is where, Edward says, Issei. Issei, he then says Issei's last name as Kuragawa, or not Kuragawa, mostly, not Kumagawa, Kuragawa. This is where, Issei Kuragawa. How, it's been a while. I haven't been your judge for another 2 years. I'm guessing that you're doing good. Yes, and you do remember that deal that me and Jin made? Yes. I forgot to inform you that Jin actually died. No, I found out from his daughter. Oh, oops. Yeah, thanks for taking your sweet time and telling me that. Hey, at least it kept you on your toes. Whatever. If you would have died, I would have fucking been angry also. I mean, you would have graduated school. You're almost there. Just 1 more year. Yeah. Are you gonna sign the papers of mostly the fact that I haven't caused trouble for 2 years? I was hoping you would have skipped that. That is not happening, Issei said. That is not happening that I'm gonna skip that kind of promise you made. This is where, right now Jin sighs and, not Jin, mostly Edward sighs and says, fine, I will sign the papers. Finally. But, no buts, you have to sign the papers. There's nothing else. I'm not going to stay here in this school. This school has been pissing me off for the longest point of time. Actually, remember that one time that, what's it called? You suggested for me to be a pervert so I can actually not be bothered by the females or the males in a school? Edward says, yes. Well, I did that. I literally pretended to be a pervert for 2 years and my life felt so relaxed. But that is not happening. This school is actually starting to even piss me off even when I'm a pervert. This is where, Edward says, fine, I'll sign the paper documents and I'll send it to you. You can drop out whenever you want. Even today is a fine day. That is so great, because I'm dropping out right now. You're signing those papers also. Because my parents would never sign those damn papers. Those damn documents. This is where, mostly, Edward said, you know you don't need your parents to sign them. You need someone else to sign them who's ever older or
Wait a minute, did I just give you a clue? Issei says, oh wait, no. I'm gonna end this call, I'm gonna call my older brother, and he's going to sign those damn documents so I can be free! I will be free! I will be the honor one! Throughout heaven and earth, I alone will be the honor one. This is where Issei's grinning like a malicious bastard. This is where right now scaring everyone. And this is where, well, Issei then kind of says, before I end this call, is it confirmed to be, what's it called? South Toronto to be the one to kill Jin? This is where, well, Edward stays silent and says, yes, it is confirmed. But you're not going to, I'm going to murder that asshole for almost killing and destroying my hopes and dreams. Issei still with a dark, malicious tone. I'm going to show Edward, well not Edward mostly, he says, I'm going to show South Toronto what the true meaning of pissing off a dragon looks like. This is where, well, mostly his eyes look so pissed. They almost look to have a slick in the middle. But this is where, well, mostly scaring everyone else. This is where Edward sighs and says, fine, I'll be signing all the papers that we made a deal upon and all the agreements. Damn, I'm already 60 years old and you're making this deal and making me work. I'm an old man, Issei. Issei says, I'm sorry, but who was the one to suggest 2 years? I think I would have been fine for 1 year and a half. Ah, fine, kid. I will do it. You don't need to rush this old man. That is not the point. Other than that, bye. And if you don't sign my papers, I'm going to call you multiple times until you wake up. Oh, you little brat. Fine. This is where, well, mostly Issei grins. And this is where Issei then kind of hangs up on the call. Calls his older brother in an instant. He did not hesitate one bit. He started calling his older brother. This is where, well, the connect never managed to connect. And this is where Issei said, come on. Answer the phone, damn it. I need someone to fucking sign those papers. And clearly you're the older one and you should be signing them and... Damn it, I'm not gonna be able to escape this school. But I am gonna hurt a lot of people even if I can escape this school. Issei said with such a murderous tone. He became so serious and so cold at the same time. His perverted attitude, his mostly friendly attitude has all changed and demeanor also changed entirely into a very cold, murderous person. This is where, well, scaring almost all of them in a fucking instant. Yeah, that's actually quite scary. The fact that Issei's personality changes into a 180 entirely. This is where, well, mostly everyone gulps in an instant just looking at the murderous look that Issei has. Issei said, other than that, I should probably be going to class. Don't worry, Sona. You're gonna see me up here later with a lot of broken children half the time. Issei walks away grinning. But this is where, well, mostly Sona says, Issei. This is where Issei says, don't call me that. Call me Kuragawa, since that is truly my name. I do not go by Hyoto. I'm never going by Hyoto again. This is where Issei grins like a malicious bastard, a very evilish bastard who just got reawoken again from his domain. This is where, well, mostly he looks like he's grinning like Sukuna someone, but not the point. This is where, well, making Sona get unnerved with that grin. Issei looks like he changed into a 180. He's no longer the kind of perverted, goofy, friendly person. He is back to his original self. And his original self is more scarier than any pervert alive. This is where, well, mostly Issei grins and walking out of the way. This is where mostly Satrina grabbed Issei's hand. Issei turns around and glares at Satrina. Tell me, cop, why haven't you went after South Toronto? This is where, well, mostly Satrina says, what do you think I haven't been doing my whole entire life? I've been trying to go after him. Issei says, well, you're not doing a very good job, are you? Fuck you, I'm only 19. This is where Satrina glares at him. And this is where, well, mostly Issei looks at her and says, wait, you're only 19? Wait. Shouldn't the cop year took you at least 2 years to finish and This is where, well, Satrina says, oh, shut up for a second. Just because I'm young and not experienced like my father doesn't mean
I am not going to be an idiot about kind of going after Toronto. I've been trying to track him down, but you know how dangerous, Tokyo Shiba City is. Issei right now looks at her and just says, "Oh, you're just pathetic in my eyes." Citrina says, "How about this? Like it makes a deal." Issei says, "I'm not making a deal with you. If it was Jin or even with the car Edward, I would have made a deal with them. Because they were easier to manipulate. Other than that, they're not easy to manipulate. I just kind of respect them a bit." And this is where, well, mostly Citrina glares at him and says, "Let's make a deal. If you help me defeat against, or fight, or just find South Toronto, I'll let you fight him." Huh, you think I wouldn't do that myself? And I'll also give you any favor that you want. This is where Issei walks up to her, lifts her chin a bit up to his eye level, and says, "Then you become my wife." This is where, well, mostly Issei said that's a friendly term joke. This is where, right now, making Citrina's face becomes red, and right now looks away from mostly his eye level. Mostly Issei's eyes are still goldenish color, but they're not the right color, and of course a bit of blue black, well, mostly a bit of blue purple is leaking out, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly Citrina says, no. This is where she was about to say no until Issei says, I'm joking. I know you wouldn't accept that. It would have been funny if you did, because that's stupid. You going to kind of marry a 17-year-old? That's stupid in my opinion. Who the hell does that anyway? That's disgusting in my opinion. Probably in different countries it's not, but I don't care. This is where, well, Issei walks away and says, I'm fighting South Toronto by myself. I don't need others. Besides, all that I need is myself to fight against that man. And when I find him, that man isn't going to be even alive to have a court case for himself. This is where, well, Issei turns around with a murderous look in his eyes, and then walking away entirely. And this is where making Citrina just glares at the person. And this is where, well, mostly she also blushes. This is where Hela kind of says, so, were you actually going to date him? This is where Citrina says, no, Hela, what the? This is where the other girl says, mostly her name is Blanca, and says, huh, I thought you were. This is where, right now, Citrina glares at both of them and says, shut up already. This is where, well, Sona can just see this interaction. The male cop is just over here shocked, confused. That kid has more in him. He is sad. He knows he won't be able to compare with the Riz lore like Issei. But yeah. But this is where, well, mostly Issei is walking out the mostly council room and kind of just lifting his hair up. This is where, well, he starts kind of using his own hair, or mostly his own fingernails, to start scratching his hair down to the point that it looks like it's all going down. This is where he used a bit of water, mostly by the fountain, just splash upon his hair. This is where, well, or not hair, he mostly just has his spiky up still. He doesn't just scratch all that. This is where, well, mostly Issei was just going to class, and when he gets to class, he kind of walks in there and just sits down without a care in the world, acting like the normal perverted, goofy personality. People still glare at him, and yet he just doesn't seem to care. This is where, well, he sees one guy glaring at him, and this is where Issei flips him off. And the person was like a big ass dude who fell, literally 3 years. So of course, this guy is like at least 19, and he's still in the second years. And this is where, oh, or not 19, he is, failed twice, and he's 19, but yeah. This is where, well, he glares at Issei, gets up and says, what the hell was that for? You little perverted brat. This is where Issei looks up and says, don't know what you're talking about, dude. I think you should calm down. This is where, well, the teacher tries to calm everyone down. Of course, the teacher is basically, she kind of looks like this. So, she kind of looks like this, and of course, this is where, well, she's trying to calm down everyone, but this is where, well, most of the other students were getting up, like other male students to fight against Issei, but yeah. This is where, well, others were getting up to fight Issei. This is where Murahama Matsuda just got out of the way, so they wouldn't be attacked. The female students, they kind of just stayed there. Right now, next to Moriyama to protect her, because whatever. The tensions were always high. Issei gets up, and this is where he grins. But before anything happens, the fucking door of the classroom right now just snaps its hinges off.
This is where, well, people kind of walk through, and a guy who looks like this kind of appeared. So pretty much it looks like this, the person, mostly the outfit looks like that, but mostly the, what's it called, he is kind of having this look of, smile. But yeah, this is where he says, oops, it seems that door was so weak that I kicked the shit out of it. My bad. This is where, well, mostly a bunch of people are confused on who exactly this person is. He has whitish hair that seems to be flowing a bit. He does have a big cup, but not much. Mostly he has reddish, well, not reddish eyes, they're purple, not red. They're supposed to be purple, so it kind of looks like, where is it? They're like a lightish purple somewhat, but yeah, they're like looking like this. And this is where, well, mostly the person says, oops, sorry, I kicked the door on accident. I tried to open it with my own hands, but I couldn't actually do that when a bunch of people are trying to hurt my little brother. This is where, well, people are confused until mostly the person walks up to mostly Issei and just smirks at him. And this is where, well, Issei said, Izana, what are you? This is where, before anything else happens, this is where Izana pulls out something from his, like, coat. And this is where, well, mostly it was bleach. And this is where, well, mostly Issei notices and tries to stop Izana, but Izana managed to kind of pour it all over on top of his head. Issei glares at Izana, and this is where, well, mostly before he even be able to react, he got his eye lenses taken out of his eye quite quick from Izana, and Izana is much faster and quicker than him. And this is where, well, Issei says, oh, damn it, Izana. This is where, well, mostly he didn't call Izana by his name. He's like, damn it, Oni-san, what is this? This is where, well, mostly everyone was confused when Issei calls what to call this person Oni-san, and this person is quite taller than him. Mostly the person is like 6'1". Yes, mostly I'm making Izana bigger than actual original canon, but yeah. But this is where, well, Izana kind of just has a small little grin and just saying, oh, don't worry there, little brother of mine. Don't worry, your older brother is here to protect you. I won't let anyone hurt you. This is where, well, mostly the other students are confused, but then notice how Izana turns around and shows a very murderous look in his eye. This is where, well, Izana says, don't you dare touch my little brother. Actually, I would give you a warning, but I instead give you a fucking kick to the head. This is where he kicks the older kid in the head so hard, smashing him down to the desk and probably making him have a concussion in an instant. Izana says, sorry, I don't like people threatening my little brother at all. And I don't like anyone trying to jump my little brother. So prepare to die, you weaklings. This is where, well, mostly a bunch of kids were unnerved with Izana's brutality until other people started walking through the, what's it called, door in an instant. Pretty much there were people underneath Izana, but yeah. So yeah, other gang members. Mostly this guy and, well, not the two Hatani brothers or neither of those guys. I think, yeah, but not the two Hatani brothers. These guys over here, no. Just Izana, this guy, I forgot his name. I think his name was Kenshin or something like that. And that other guy that appeared in the end of, what's it called, season 2 of Tokyo Revengers. But yeah, mostly his eye color, mostly Izana's eye color is like an amethyst color, but not the point. So of course, well, he smiles and says, Kenshin, can you please get rid of all these weaklings for daring to even touch my little brother? This is where, well, mostly the dude nodded and says, yes, sir. He started punching the shit out of a bunch of guys and cracking their skulls. This is the others started rushing in, the other kind of Tenju members. Get him! Duh! This is where they grabbed the two perverts and started beating their ass in an instant, making sure they're almost to the break of death. This is where, well, the two perverts are getting the worst beating of their life. But this is how Issei looks like, or mostly kind of looks like. When he kind of opened his eyes, he had mostly this like purplish blue color, while mostly his hair was actually completely white. This is where Issei glares at his older brother and says, really? Oni-san, why? Wait, since you're here, can you send the paper? Paper? What do you mean paper? Oh, well, you see here, this is where Issei explains real fast about what happened and other things. And some of the other females heard it, and seeing that Issei is not actually a true pervert, but an actual delinquent, who actually hurt a lot of people in his different schools. He was suspended from 15 different schools, which is an amazing record for delinquents. This is where, well, mostly Izana nodded and says, fine, I'll sign that paper. Huh. Well, this is where he snaps his finger and says, all of you wait outside. I'm gonna be going with my little brother here on a little adventure to, well, help him out. And this is where his vice captain wants to go along. And this is where Izana says, I'll be fine.
Me and my little brother can fight anyone. If anything happens, you know what to do. Bring all 500 members here to kill whoever dares to try to attack me or my little brother. This is where, well, the vice captain nodded and says, yes, sir. This is where everyone got scared, even the females. Like, they know that the male population is not that large. And seeing how these guys really beat the shit of the males, even the older one who has kind of whitish hair and now looks like Issei also. Issei looks like him a bit. This is where, well, they are both walking towards the, well, president, the council room. This is where, well, Sona's over here sighing. This is where, well, Rias appear and saying, so, what is happening? This is where, well, mostly, Rias is kind of talking to, what's it called, Sona, and even what's it called, well, the other kind of, like, somewhat cops, somewhat, they're still there, just thinking about something, until the door just gets its hinges right now shatter. This is where Kiba and Sanji gets on guard, but they can't summon out their swords thanks to the humans over there, but from the cops. The cops gets on guard, and this is where Zana says, oops, kick the door again. Oh my god, all doors here are kind of weak and pathetic, don't you think, little brother? It's yeah, Zana, you don't need to keep kicking every door you see. I could have opened it normally. Yeah, but that would have been a waste of energy. You kicking it isn't a waste of energy? Izana grins and says, of course not. This is where he gives out this like small little grin at him. But yeah. Issei literally rolls his eyes. He just says, whatever. This is where, well, the documents managed to come through a kind of print machine. And this is where, well, Sona saw them. He has Edward to send them over, but yeah. And yes, all of them are signed, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly it now takes the guardian or parent to sign it, and this is where Izana appears. Izana says, ooh, let me sign this. Sign this, sign this, sign this. He signed it all and then put it through the machine again, or mostly to send it back through, well, Edward, and this is where Sona saw it. This person is none other than Izana, well, mostly Izana Kuragawa. Mostly his aura is quite dangerous also, but not as dangerous as Issei. And Issei's look is making her blush more than ever. His eye color, his hair color is amazing. This is where even what's it called, Satrina even notices, and she was having a hard time not blushing at how Issei truly looked like. This is where, well, if Issei still had his dreads, his kind of black and white dreads on, he probably would have looked quite badass and quite handsome at the time. But no, Issei doesn't have that, and this is where, well, almost all girls are blushing in the entire student council president side, or even what's it called, a occult research club. Koneko is having a hard time in just looking at Issei. She is not trying to blush, but it's having a very, very terrible effect not blushing against him. This is where, well, against mostly his looks. This is where, well, Yuta is just, or mostly Kiba and even Sanji can see this, and this is where, well, they're not angry. Mostly just, Sanji is terrified of Issei for some reason, Kiba's also. Because mostly his look of his eyes are quite dulish a bit, or mostly quite dead, but not much. This is where, well, Akano blushes a bit. She just looks away. She tries to, but yeah, it's kind of hard to look at two white-haired people who are males, and literally they have such a dangerous aura that kind of does turn people a bit on. This is where, well, we'll see. Issei says, are we done already? This is where Izana kind of gives Issei papers that basically needs his signature, which Issei signs it, and his signature hand sign is so much better than normal. He's cleaner and than just cleaner half the time. Half the time when he has to sign papers, he just does it scratch nilly. He doesn't really care about having it neat. But these neat handwritings doesn't even seem to be like Issei's entirely. This is where, well, Sona just shocked with the nice handwriting that Issei has and just looks at him confused entirely. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of just says, well, other than that, this should be all of them, then it shouldn't be. This is where Sona just sent them back into, well, mostly the printing machine to have the document signed and the signature signed, and just sent them back towards Edward. Edward got them, and this is where, well, he then says, well, there's all the documents. Issei and Izana has the physical copies, while mostly Sona has the printed version, or mostly the files that she had to delete. So mostly, yeah. And yet Issei grabbed the computer, deleted everything that doesn't have his signature or his brother's signature in their computer, or mostly in Sona's computer. This is where I'm making Sona pout a bit, but she doesn't really care too much. She's just interested in the fact that Issei knows a lot about computers, a lot about stuff, and yeah. This is where, well, mostly after they're finished and like sign, blah, 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 whatever, mostly Issei gets up and says, well, we're going. See ya. This is where Issei said, also, there's a bunch of the students in my class that's got their ass kicked and other things. And not by me, but you know what, who cares? Issei walks away. This is where, well, Citrina grabs Issei's arm, and this is where, well, Zana wanted to murder her until Citrina says, what about our deal? I don't really need anything right now. Fine, I'll take it. But if you try to betray me, I might have to hurt you. Issei glares at her with mostly his like purplish, mostly his deep purplish blue eyes. This is where, well, making Citrina's eye blush because, well, not eyes blush, mostly her face blush because of how good looking he is. But yeah. Other than that, mostly Issei walks away. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to be leaving it off here for part 5. Other than that, bye, saying yeah, and see you.